Premier, Cabinet Ministers, Cabinet Secretary, government officials, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm pleased to welcome you to Government House today for the swearing in and appointment of new ministers. The making of appointments falls to me as Governor, acting on the advice of the Premier under Section 58 of the Constitution. I will now invite Mr. Weeks and Mr. Campbell to take the appropriate oaths under the Constitution for their appointments. Mr. Weeks, please.
Please do. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. You get so used to these things. I, Michael Anthony Weeks, do solemnly and sincerely affirm and declare that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, according to law. I, Michael Anthony Weeks, being appointed a minister, do solemnly and sincerely affirm and declare that I will, to the best of my judgment, at all times when so required, freely give my counsel and advice to the governor or any other person for the time being lawfully performing the functions of that office for the good management of the public affairs of Bermuda. And I do further solemnly and sincerely affirm and declare that I will not on any account at any time whatsoever disclose the counsel, advice, opinion, or vote of any particular minister or junior minister, and that I will not, except with the authority of the Cabinet and to such extent as may be required for the good management of the affairs of Bermuda, directly or indirectly reveal the business or proceedings of the Cabinet or the nature or contents of any documents communicated to me as a minister or any matter coming to my knowledge in my capacity as such, and that in all things I will be a true and faithful minister. I have everything but a pen.
Thank you. Mr. Campbell, will you please come on?
Good afternoon, everyone. I, Vance Marvin Eugene Campbell, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God. I, Vance Marvin Eugene Campbell, being appointed a minister, do swear that I will do the best of my judgment at all times when so required, freely give my counsel and advice to the governor or any other person for the time being lawfully performing the functions of that office for the good management of the public affairs of Bermuda. And I do further swear that I will not, on any account, at any time whatsoever, disclose the counsel, advice, opinion, or vote of any particular minister or junior minister, and that I will not accept with the authority of the cabinet, and to such extent as may be required for the good management of the affairs of Bermuda, directly or indirectly reveal the business or proceedings of the cabinet, or the nature or contents of any documents communicated to me as a minister, or any matter coming into my knowledge in my capacity as such, and that in all things I will be a true and faithful minister. So help me God.
Thank you. I'm just going to invite the Premier to make some comments and his remarks on the appointments that have just been made. So, Premier, please.
Your Excellency, cabinets, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, family, good afternoon. I am pleased to welcome Minister Vance Campbell and to welcome back Minister Michael Weeks to the Cabinet. Can we have a round of applause for our new minister? These are challenging times in which to serve, so I thank them for agreeing to take up this challenge. Firstly, in their devoted work from the backbench, and now for their willingness to enter a new chapter of public service as ministers of the government. Both of them speak to the depth of talent available within the ranks of the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party. I look forward to working with them as we build on the people-centered economic recovery and social renewal that is critical to Bermuda's success. Minister Campbell is a certified public accountant and has a wealth of experience in the private and public sectors and has had a long record of public and community service. Minister Campbell's experience will serve the government well in his new role as Minister of Tourism as we work to rebuild Bermuda's tourism for the benefit of our people. No stranger to the demands of Cabinet, Minister Michael Weeks is a strong grassroots community leader with over 20 years' experience in residential treatment services. One of the major challenges that we face in Bermuda is the increasing violence in our community. And Minister Weeks' work and life experiences will equip him well as he dedicates full-time attention as Minister of National Security in this new chapter of his public service. As I said in my statement on Wednesday, I do wish to thank the former Minister of National Security, MP Renee Ming, for her service. She has been a powerful voice for St. George's, and I look forward to her continued effective representation of her constituents and her contribution to the government's work from the backbench. On Saturday, I held an open-door clinic in my constituency. After a week of such sensational headlines, I prepared myself to address questions about leadership, turmoil, and instability. I should not have been bothered. Like people all across Bermuda, my constituents had questions about fuel prices, the state of the roads, when Fairmont Southampton will open, the economy, social issues, and other matters that affect the lives of Bermudians every day. I mention this because it is very easy to get distracted by rumors, innuendo, and speculation. That may be what sells papers and increases viewership, but it does not in any way help the people we were elected to serve. Saturday's interaction with my constituents reminded me that the people want us to create a climate of social harmony, grow this economy, and address the cost of living for themselves, their children, and grandchildren. It reinvigorated my commitment and my focus. I am focused on the work that we promised to do on behalf of the electorate. The Cabinet is focused on that work. The caucus and the wider parliamentary group are focused on that work. People are depending on us to deliver what we promise, and our commitment as their representatives and my commitment as leader of this government is to deliver and continue delivering for them. Thank you, and at this time, I will call on Minister of National Security, Michael Weeks, to address the gathering, followed by Minister of Tourism, Wayne Campbell. Minister Weeks.
Thank you, Premier. Good afternoon again, Mr. Premier. Good afternoon, Your Excellency. Good afternoon to everyone. As I was starting my day, a song came on the Beverly Howell show this morning on Magic 102.7. I Look to You. It was sung by our late, great Whitney Houston. For sure, at this moment, I look to him. When I received the call from the Premier last evening, I accepted the invitation with humility. When I got off the phone, the first thing that I did was pray to God for strength, wisdom, and the courage to carry out my duty without fear or favor. At this time, I would like to begin by thanking the Honorable Premier for having confidence in my ability to carry out the responsibilities of this ministry. To my wife, family, and friends who supported me in all that I do. To my constituency executive and my constituents over in Pembroke Central who have shared their belief in me that I will always do my best for country. And to my colleagues who trust me, I say thank you for all of your support. I am mindful of the hard work and tireless efforts of those who have gone before me in the ministry and the leadership shown, and I also thank them. As I am sure that you can appreciate that before I provide any insight, answers, or solutions to any matter of national security, it is imperative that I meet with the various heads that come under this ministry: the regiment, police, customs, corrections, and the fire service. All of those who work on the front line, striving every day to keep our country and our borders safe and secure. I also thank them. As some may know, my experience spans decades as I have worked with men and women, both young and old, particularly our young black men, whether in residential care, residential treatment, drug and alcohol reform, etc. I will reiterate, because this is no longer the elephant in the room, the issue of gun and gang violence that our country is experiencing is without a doubt a community problem. If we are to find solutions, we cannot police ourselves out of this situation. We need everyone, from our neighbors, to our community leaders, to our community club leaders, to our church leaders, those in Tuckerstown and Middletown, those from Front Street and Court Street. This scourge is not a black or white thing. This is a colorless thing. Rich or non-wealthy, educated or uneducated, all of us must get involved. It is no longer just our neighbor's problem. It is everyone's problem, and we will be calling upon everyone. So also, feel free to reach out to the Ministry of National Security if you would like to assist, even in some small way. We must engage these young people, these men and women. One of our stalwarts, a former minister of government, the Honorable D. Nelitha Butterfield, always reminds us that each one reach one, each one teach one. And I add to that, each one seek to save even one. These are our children. They attended our schools. They sat on our church pews. Some perhaps have eaten at our dinner tables. So as I close, we will build on the foundation laid and move forward methodically, seeking to address all matters of national security. As national security crosses ministries, I also look forward to working with other ministries and ministers in a collaborative effort. History and research has proven that any threat challenges a nation's power and disrupts its well-being. The Bermuda Ministry of National Security seeks to protect our country's fundamental needs, i.e., the protection of the lives and safety of our residents, maintaining a united front, ensuring our values, institution, and island home is protected. We must recognize that the stabilization of all of these entities makes our island home a viable country. Barack Obama said, and I quote, "We know we cannot stop every act of violence, every act of evil in the world, but maybe we can try to stop one act of evil and one act of violence." Thank you.
It won't be as long as Mr. Weeks, Minister Weeks. And the Premier referred to me as Wayne Campbell. That is my brother. The good that I do will be under Vance. Anything I mess up on will be under Wayne. So thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Premier. I can say fellow cabinet colleagues, friends and family of myself and Mr. Minister Weeks. I would like to say that I am also humbled by this appointment, and I will bring that humility with me every day when I execute my responsibilities as Minister for Tourism. I would like to thank the Premier for this opportunity to continue my service to my country. That service began many years ago with my appointment to the Consumer Affairs Board and has continued since. I also would like to thank some other individuals. Mr. Gregory Jacobs, who walked every hill and every road and every trail in Smiths Parish in Devonshire for the last 3 elections. Thank you, sir. You are a significant reason why I am here today. my mom, Marianne Collis, for obvious reasons. Thank you, Mom. Viviana, my wife, my family, for that support. Each of us here need that support of family in order to execute our functions as MPs and ministers. And Mr. Randall Brown, who allows me, as his employee, to continue that community service to serve my country. To the people of Bermuda, I believe my experience across various industries will be a positive addition around the table on Tuesdays at Cabinet. And as Minister for Tourism, I will meet with all key stakeholders on a regular basis. I will listen, and I will always strive to do what's best for my country and the citizens of Bermuda. Thank you.
Thank you. If I may just take the opportunity to congratulate Mr. Weeks and Minister Campbell. I look very much forward to working with you both as you exercise your duties and responsibilities for the people of Bermuda. That concludes the swearing-in ceremony for this afternoon. So thank you all for joining us, and perhaps a few of you may stay with us for a few moments longer. Thank you.